WNS Box Hill Pizzeria. The best crab cakes in Orford County can now be shipped anywhere at boxhillpizzeria.com. It's really a crab cakery, and don't forget to grab the salad dressing while you're there. They've done an incredible job of remodeling Box Hill. If you're up in the Abingdon, Bel Air, Hartford County area, make sure you stop by and see our friends up there, Tommy, Chris, everybody up there, treating folks right, and get a big fat crab cake, and make sure you take some dressing home as well. Also brought to you by our friends at Charles Newsonoff and Sons. Since 1923, true love comes in all shapes and sizes, and there's something for everyone's budget at Charles Newsonoff and Sons. They buy gold, and they're easy to find. We're off 695 at Perring Parkway, just outside the Beltway. You can see them right from 695. Find them on the web at charlesnewsonoff.com. Let's grow old together. Tim Walsh is the volleyball coach at Coppin State University, where they are our partner. You can learn more about all that Coppin State does at coppinstatesports.com. We are also their flagship for basketball, men's and women's games, and we'll be hearing those on the radio here at AM 1570 throughout the season. I know he's got a big match on Tuesday night at Catonsville at UMBC on the backside of the Charm City Classic. We're in the middle of the volleyball schedule. Tim Walsh has joined us in the past, and I always bring up, the 84 Olympics and love of beach volleyball in Manhattan Beach and all that, but you got work to do. We got to talk about what's going on in the middle of your season right now. Yeah, having a nice campaign, and certainly played pretty well over the weekend against the South rivals in the MEAC, Tim.
Yeah, so we had our Charm City Classic, and we came away with 2 wins over North Carolina Central and South Carolina State, which I hope will help propel us into MEAC play, which starts on Friday in Norfolk.
So MEAC play and the kickoff, it's kind of like a basketball season where you play a lot of non-conference and then you get into it. Is that pretty much the way volleyball works?
Yeah, exactly set up. So coaches just pick their out-of-conference play and determine the types of teams they want to play to expose, the team and grow them and make them stronger, and hopefully get some wins out of conference. And then, it's all geared towards the MEAC.
Anytime I'm talking about anything other than basketball or football for teams that have those programs, the rest of all of the sports, whether it's track, whether it's volleyball, softball, even baseball locally, folks don't know about it. It doesn't come to them for scheduling, but obviously people in the volleyball world, and I know I've talked to you about this, I've been in downtown Baltimore many, many times where there are incredible girls, high school volleyball tournaments going on at the Inner Harbor. I mean, volleyball is a big community, but it's a little insulated, I think, and folks don't know about it as much. And I guess making these games, you're trying to keep them local, but I'm shocked by how many schools play Division I volleyball, right?
Yeah, definitely. So in the area, we have a lot of schools within an hour of each other that are Division I. So the sport's definitely growing. It's growing at the high school level. It's growing at the club level as well. And within even the tri-state area, there's a ton of different clubs. So now students are having the option of playing, in different counties, and then even within counties, there's a few clubs. So it's really starting to grow and become bigger in Baltimore.
For you, with your players and recruiting, and I guess you're one of the guys recruiting when the high school girls are bringing in 50 clubs, and I see tall 14, 15, 16-year-old girls walking all through the harbor with their parents and enjoying a crab cake and all that. The recruiting comes from there, right?
Yeah, definitely. So there's a lot of avenues how you can recruit. So there's a lot of big tournaments that are national qualifiers that are held in, major cities, and Baltimore is one of them. So that's definitely an option for coaches to get to and assess players and determine their needs. But they're all over. Every weekend, starting in January all the way until mid-June, you have a volleyball tournament. So, it's really up to the coach and their budget and their needs for where they need to go and what they want to see.
All right, man. Well, I know you got MEAC play. You got the UMBC getting going here. Give me a little look at the MEAC, because you had a nice little tournament, and I guess the Charm City Classic, much like basketball tournaments around the holidays before you begin league play and MEAC play. Some thoughts about your conference this year?
So conference play this year, Morgan's played really well so far, and Howard's obviously the reigning champs over the last 3 years, so they're always a force to be reckoned with and to look at. He does a great job recruiting and finding players to really build his program. So he's done a great job. UMES had a great showing last year. They had a lot of returners as well. So within the first 4 teams, I think of the MEAC is going to be kind of just play for play, and who shows up that day could get the win. And then even Delaware State, received new coaching this year, so they have a new assistant on board who brought some of his players. He was a local guy from Baltimore, so he has some players out there, so they're really starting to grow too. So it's really turning into a competitive division in the North.
I'm going to stop out one day and set and spike up with you a little bit, too. Volleyball is one of those sports, unlike golf, that I've played a lot of, and I actually enjoy volleyball for not being a tall guy. I know tall helps, but volleyball is a great sport for everybody to play. I always see the folks playing down at the harbor as well in the summertime, so we're bringing it inside. You can learn more about Coppin State volleyball at CoppinStateSports.com. We got a lot of basketball games coming on the air as well. Tim, always a pleasure to visit with you, man.
Thanks. You too.
You got a Tim Walsh, head coach for all things volleyball over at Coppin State University.